Okay, this is going to be a commentary of my Bounty Hunter True Solo. Again, I don't have the original file. I need to store and compress these things. This is with a fairly unique build, a Steel Crescendo. I'll just keep it slow now to go over it. Steel Crescendo salvage ammunition build with bracer pistols and rapier, full offense. So just crit chance and attack speed on rapier. And assassin as well. So pretty good melee damage actually. Good attack speed. This build is really cool, but it also kind of sucks. Like when it works fantastically, but you're super dependent on getting elites, so you can chain Steel Crescendo when you run out of ammo. Like, you just keep doing that. And the thing is, Cata's not consistent. You don't always get elites, and if you don't get elites, you're just fighting a horde with specials as Bounty Hunter with no ammo. That's absolutely awful. So you actually end up being stronger in more dangerous situations when you have those elites. But to the point that you're actually not just bad without them, you kind of suck compared to the content you're facing. So it's a little inconsistent. So if you get a map where you just get like Mauler waves every single time, it's a fantastic build. Especially with Bob, you deal with them super well, and Rapier has good DPS. And in this build you actually have really good stagger with Rapier. Like, you can, when Steel Crescendo's up, like, you can push a Storm Vermin with Hunter too. I think it affects cleave as well, so you end up having a pretty decent cleave. I'll speed it up now. May have to lower it from 4K later. Not sure if my connection can handle it. This is quite dangerous. I get hooked, but fortunately Blackstorm. Luckiest moment in the run. Use that heal there because this is a dangerous spot, and I end up using the ult because it's a bunch of Plague Monks and I don't have a lot of ammo loaded. And it would take me, even with this build, it would still take me a little time to kill them. I've got the ult cooldown, so I'm just spamming it. I don't have double shotted, I have just reward because I just prefer it. I find just reward better against everything that isn't boss. I also just having a shotgun element feels good under pressure. I don't know if it actually makes it any safer, but it kind of feels like it does. I think they might have both for the stagger. I've noticed with double shotted, it still kind of staggers things in front of you. So I'm not exactly sure. You basically don't want to pick up ammo, and you just want to constantly be around, like, at most, like, I think it's 9 shots or whatever. I get a patrol here. I should have gone down the end of the street to trigger the spawn. This is faster, but it's more dangerous, and with a build like this that doesn't do super well in immediate close quarters, even with Rapier, it's dangerous. That was risky there. I didn't issue rallying, but I'm picking up the ammo. I really shouldn't be picking up the ammo, but I'm just not super confident with the build. This is a build that could be super good. Its only limitation is not getting the damage reduction, I guess, but more importantly, relying on elites. Like, it's super good on Cata 1 Onslaught, where it still has its breakpoints. It actually scales very well to that, where there's more than enough elites for you to kill. But having to run out of ammo on the on-kill condition, I've actually put up some ideas for it where you could make it not to rely on, like, emptying your clip or firing a certain number of shots. Using a... oh, I'm just going back here. Talk about the run. Because it's safe. This is a fairly safe area to fight in if you've got a decent stamina game. Especially, I've got like this DPS just to kill these Maulers pretty much immediately. It's really quite nice. And Steel Crescendo is great because that attack speed is fantastic for Bob. I used the ult there because I wasn't super confident on the ammo and I wanted to save some of it. I am shooting those ambients, and what I was doing was wasting ammo specifically so I could get my last shot kill on the Mauler, but I messed it up. Also, that's another thing, you have weird gameplay loops like that where you actually, like, there's one elite left and you want to last shot it, so you just shoot random stuff all the air. It feels very unnatural. Still do block cancel even if it's less safe, just because, you know, more DPS. That's important because you don't really have much of a hold DPS as Bounty Hunter. Fortunately, I waited to kill an elite and then I was going to focus on these guys. So I didn't kill the gas rat. I think I probably just missed it, and the reason it was charging was because of the explosion from the rat. Oh no, not explosion, just because the ratling was shooting out. Still have pretty decent breakpoints for the crit on this build. And your sustain damage is good. I think you can just really spam Bob. Just clearing ambience there. I don't want to stay down here. Hopefully I'm not being too brief. I'm very used to screaming bells, so there will probably be things that I do or already thinking about without really consciously thinking about it. Just because I've done it so many times. It's a good map for true solo. There's just a few spots in it that can be a bit rough, but it's nice and short. I don't like the steps at the end, though. They suck. I've run out of ammo. I shouldn't have. I just wasted it. Fortunately, I have my ult. I don't think I'm going to get any elites here for a while. And oh no, I do get one. Or two Chaos Warriors? Yeah, two Chaos Warriors, very fortunately. There's an ambience, so if they hadn't been around, I wouldn't have gotten any elites. I'm going to need to kill one, but I've got my ult. I shot the... So because I've got Hunter, I just wanted to... The reason I got a melee kill in the switch was just to get Hunter up. For my infantry damage. I know there's a Packmaster coming, so I disengage and move over here. Just to get a clear line of sight on them. I ran out of ammo there on purpose, just so I could... Because I had my ult, so I knew I was going to be able to kill the Chaos Warrior and get Steel Crescendo up. And that just means like my hold clear time with Steel Crescendo and everything, like it's pretty decent. You control and everything. Normally, like Bounty Hunter with Rapier would struggle with what I just fought just then. I would have to kite a little. Especially because it's a low durability character, particularly without the damage reduction. There's no reason for me to use my shot in that first Blightstormer. I didn't need to go around that card thing or whatever. Picking up the ammo because of a lack of confidence. The extra dodges are also good for Bounty Hunter. So, and the thing with Bounty Hunter is, like, you want to bring salvaged ammo. Like, salvaged ammo is very limiting. Having to be the last kill thing. Oh, out of ammo, it's, the real problem is it doesn't work on specials. If it did, it would have really good uptime, and maybe that would make it up, I don't know, I don't think so. You're basically bringing it just for the melee reload on a normal build. Or if you're using a hunter build. That's good with something like crossbow because your ammo efficiency is still insane. So you actually really just don't run out of ammo much anyway, and you get a surprisingly decent amount of shots back, and you have just good kill consistency since you just one shot immediately. It's very quick. I should have waited for them to build up a little bit there, on the side there, so I could use the ult and get more shotgun damage from it. This is a decent area to fight in because once you're in the middle here or further, specials don't really spawn much behind you. Like they always seem to come from the end up here. I just ult. It's free hold damage and yeah. I switch occasionally just to get Hunter up. You don't really micro-manage these stacks you get from range, hitting ranged enemies with range attack and hitting with melee. You kind of just accept it. Like, you get it sometimes. Sometimes you're not going to get it, I guess. And I get a patrol, so I just avoid it. I like fighting up here because you have really good line of sight on specials. They always come from the end of the street. Usually on the left, assassins particularly. You can get cornered very easily, though. Generally, once I'm at this point, like, I'm pretty confident in a run. The next major hurdle would be the steps, and they can suck for a lot of builds. I'm confident here, so I don't pick up the ammo, which is a good decision. And also because I think I'm going to have to fight in this area anyway. And then I pick it up, so I guess I'm not so confident. And there's no elite, so it's not like I could really do much. Again, just hanging out here because it's a good spot. I may end up using that conport, I don't know, we'll see. Do I get any bosses in this run? No, I do not. It's a shame, but I do think I linked to a video where I did get a boss. I had 150% boss DPS in this because this build doesn't actually do a whole lot of boss damage. Like, funnily enough, the ult actually does less than like a rapier crit on this build. And it's not comparable to Witch Hunter Captain at all. Like, I'd say Bounty Hunter with a concentration pot and just reward, it's less DPS than Fervency, Death Knell, Witch Hunter Captain, Rapier with a concentration potion. Especially if you headshot him. Double shotted is better, but just reward, not so much. I could be wrong about that though. I'm gonna ult that Chaos Warrior. Probably could have waited, maybe killed a few of the Marauders for the Shotgun Blast, but didn't really matter. Chaos Warrior is still a very big threat to me. I think I'm gonna get a Horde. No, that's just ambience. I pulled them up there because I didn't want to drop down and fight them in this open area, where there's a few angle specials could come from. I just wanted to be sure. Getting a Horde now though. I'm gonna hang around in this corner. Or am I getting a Horde? No, no. So yeah, unlike Witch Hunt Captain, you can just do that and shoot those things all the time and just deal with them really quickly. You don't have to worry about saving ammo. And that was good there. So like that's an example where that build works really well. Because you can just melee. You still have decent melee DPS. Oh, and with Assassin on Bounty Hunter, with Rapier, you don't want to use the light attacks on Marauder headshots, you just want to body shot them. But with the charge attacks, you do. Just note though, if you crit, you actually want a body shot. Because Assassin gives the same bonus on body shot, if it's a crit. But generally just aim for the head. You'll do more stagger anyway occasionally. Pistol you want a body shot with, but it's also the stagger. Though I don't think that matters too much. But so yeah, no elites right now, so I can't really chain Steel Crescendo, so it kind of sucks. Like it's basically not having a talent there for a long time. Whereas if I was using open wounds, I'd be just getting this 20% whenever I crit. Great for melee and range. I got a kill by an assassin there once on one of the runs where I killed a boss. It was very sad. Just gonna go up now. Pretty low health, unfortunately. But fortunately, medical supplies. I can hear a Packmaster. Use my ult on Stormvenom just to get my armor back. Yeah, you don't get a whole lot of shots, but that's not really the importance of it. It's the Steel Crescendo chaining just being so weird and jank. I really think they should have a condition where, like, emptying half of your clip or firing 4 shots, or 5 shots, gives you 10% attack speed, 10% power for 10 seconds. The idea behind that is, it means you would, like, empty, 6 shots or whatever, or maybe more, like maybe 75% of your ranged weapon, or the entire clip, possibly. So, like, let's say 12 pop shots. And the condition of, like, where it's like that or 4 shots, whichever is greater. So like, yeah, I guess the condition would be emptying your entire clip or firing 5 shots, whichever is greater. The reason for that condition would be... I'll go over this too, sorry, I'm talking too much about that. The reason would be specifically so that it wouldn't synergize too much with crossbow. Because otherwise you could just fire 1 crossbow shot and get the buff up immediately, which would be ridiculous. It should be like, shooting a bunch of shots, basically. Your actual Steel Crescendo. Where like you do a few melee kills and you switch and you spam a bunch of shots in, etc, etc. So, oh, and the reason you always go here, because you basically want to drag the mobs over on this side, it's the easier one to go to first. Because enemies don't come on the wall here. Like if you look opposite of where I am now, the enemies drop down from there, so going to the other one can be a bit dicey because they can just climb up. You got a bit more space here. You drag those enemies there, then you drop down. You can drop down a bit later, that's probably a bit better, but it doesn't really matter too much. Give it the chains. I'm going to be blocking a lot here, unfortunately. Then you jump down here. I sometimes cut that too close, and I fail because of it sometimes. I'm going this. You can go to the left there. It's usually better to go to the left, but I wasn't confident. It can be a bit risky, so I go right into the open area. And then I'm going to try to get through this gap here. I don't quite succeed, so I throw a bomb. Then I ult, and I manage to squeeze through. Go up here. Use my ult and break these chains. Just to clear this density. That's why I use the potion. Destroy the barrel, or make it blow up, just to have more DPS. It wasn't in the best position, but it's something. I think I'm going to get more ads as well. Yep. I'm going to do this kite loop here. This is like basically paranoid levels of save, because I was pretty happy that I'd gotten this far. Jump down, just going to heal, because I'm one-shottable. I missed my ult there. Only hit the Stormvenom with the shotgun. Haven't got any ammo, so I'm basically just going to bide my time and hope the Rat Ogre doesn't kill one of them. Fortunately, that happens. So yeah, this build in True Solo works sometimes. So like in a team, it's awful. I'd say it's like terrible. Like, until you get to like Onslaught. That's just my personal opinion though. It's fun, but a bit janky. I'm gonna mostly use the rapier here. Because I want to have like maybe a shot or two for what's up next. Though I am using the occasional shot just for Hunter. Rapier doesn't scale super well with power, but it still scales. Did some good damage for the ult. Now I'm just going to turn off auto restart and show my settings. Because if I died after this part in the run, I would just upload anyway. And this part, there's a few of them, Plague Monks, so I'm just going to wait for them to come up and then ult as they line up well. That gets me some ammo back as well. Against, like, I just want to kind of run out of ammo then kill them late. It's very awkward, not consistent. I remember trying to run it with shotgun, which was a bad idea because shotgun doesn't really kill non-armored elites very well. Like when you're killing, you get a bunch of berserkers, it's actually insane, but no off at it. Repeater pistol would be better for quick swapping, but it doesn't have the mobility, and its damage on non-crits is just awful. And like even with this build, like most of my range shots are still not crits. Ranged shots, sorry. Just clearing ambience and moving forward. This is a pretty simple escape. I like to do this pretty safely, I guess. You could just push all the way through, especially at this point. So yeah, I kill a melee, like I kill an enemy melee a lot and then like take a shot at a Chaos Warrior and then kill another enemy in melee and then take another shot at the Chaos Warrior. The reason for that is because Bob doesn't do any super armor damage without crits. It scales with crits pretty well. Like crit headshot actually does a surprising amount of damage compared to its normal headshot damage. Like a normal headshot's like 2 or 4 damage compared to a Chaos Warrior's health pool of like 256, and then the crit's like 90. And that is the end of that run. Thank you, I just show my build, mod, and settings. And scoreboard, I guess.